Hi, this is your host Sapin Bharti, and today we are here at KubeCon in Seattle, and we have with us Brendan Phillips. He is a member of technical staff at Red Hat, and you are former co-founder of CoreOS as well, one of the companies that I loved, and actually I love Red Hat also, so it's good to see that merger or acquisition there.
Yeah.
So, what are you doing here at KubeCon?
Yeah. So this morning the big news was we announced that Red Hat was contributing etcd to the CNCF, and etcd is this consensus database. It's a key value database at the end of the day that we built at CoreOS, hoping that it would end up in a lot of important systems. These consensus key value databases are kind of a foundation of data centers, and if you look through the literature from Google's data center as a computer, look through literature from their Chubby white paper, it's kind of the cornerstone of how they build out all of their persistent systems, whether it's their file systems or their databases, etc. And so etcd's had the good fortune of becoming an extremely important project, cornerstone project for this entire cloud native ecosystem over the last 5 years.
So why did Red Hat decide to donate it? Because Red Hat also maintains a lot of open source projects.
The intention was always for CoreOS to put etcd into the CNCF, and over the last couple of years, we've worked really hard to ensure that etcd was not just a CoreOS responsibility, but a responsibility of the wider community. And the prospect of etcd going to the CNCF caused Google and a number of other people to put maintainers and permanent engineering effort on the project, which has been a huge help. etcd is the primary data store of Kubernetes, and so we were just getting inundated with bug reports and feature requests and need for better performance, and so we really wanted to make sure that we had a good solid community before putting it into a foundation, so that it's kind of a group effort to get it in there. So.
And how is Red Hat commercializing etcd?
Like CoreOS, etcd is something that Red Hat supports as part of their overall Kubernetes distribution. So people can't get support from Red Hat for just random usages of etcd today, but every single OpenShift installation uses the latest release of etcd that's been deemed stable for Kubernetes, and we have a team of engineers that support that.
Who is using etcd?
Yeah, so we've had a huge response in usage of etcd primarily in the last 2 years. So Kubernetes was one of the first projects outside of CoreOS to use etcd. We had Flannel, Pivotal started using etcd, Pivotal Cloud Foundry. And then in the last few years, etcd's made it into a huge number of the vendors that you see around here. So you have like PingCap's TIDB uses etcd internally. Vitesse, which is the MySQL sharding database, uses etcd. Uber's M3 metric system uses etcd. And CockroachDB uses our Raft library and actually is a maintainer of our Raft library. So they're just all over the place. Like anytime you see a storage vendor here at Cloud Native Con, chances are they're using etcd internally.
One last question before we wrap this up is that, I never asked you, I have known you for so long. What do you do in your free time? What are your hobbies?
Sure.
But this is a question Red Hat will allow to talk about outside.
Yeah, for sure. So I have an 11-month-old daughter, and so the hobby that I do most regularly, there's this beautiful hill in San Francisco called Corona Heights, and so I go hiking over the hill every morning with her. We have this backpack, so she gets to see the early morning come over the bay from this hill. So that's been my main hobby. But generally, my wife and I really like doing backpacking and hanging out in the woods. We like to call it time with trees. It's really important to our relationship, is having some time in nature.
Excellent. Once again, thanks for talking to us, and we'll see you not this year, next year in the next conference, maybe Red Hat Summit or whatever comes first. So thanks once again.
Yep, thanks.